I'm sitting here with the legendary Leon Rausch. And I'm very happy to say that I've known you for many years, and you've been just a great gentleman to me all these many years. I think of you as a friend, and I thank you for being on this program with me.
Thank you, Robert. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too. For several generations, the only voice that they've ever heard as that of the Texas Playboys is that of Leon Rausch. How does that make you feel, my friend?
Well, it makes me feel real good. I love the fans more than anything else. We have lots of friends. We got friends and we got fans, you know, and through the years, some of them begin to drop out, and that makes me real sad. But we still got the value of the friendship that we have for our fans is really, really good heart. It's just tough.
Why do you think that the Texas Playboys organization over the years generated that type of closeness with its fans? People are just, they just love you guys, and you guys just love the fans back. How did that all come about, or why is it that way?
Well, of course, we used to mix with the fans, and Bob told us to do that, whether we wanted to or not. We had to go mix with the fans, and to tell you the truth, we drank their whiskey, and sometimes we drank a little too much. But we go out there and hug these old boys' wives, and get in with them, and talk to them, and become friends with them. And they're our true friends, and they still come around. So I think that worked, and we mixed with the people. We love them. And we love because they come out to pay their good money and drive lots of miles, and we appreciate that. And especially the families that brought the little kids in those days. In those days, you know, they just let the little kids sleep under the chair, and we just keep on playing. But now they don't, of course, do that too much. But it's a family thing, right. And a lot of these young kids grew up with it.
Right. So your association with Western Swing began in the late 40s, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, first time I got turned on to Western Swing was, somewhere before World War II. Some people had some records by Bob, and I said, hey, that's all right. So when I got in the service in 46. That's going to tell how old I am now, isn't it? But anyway, when I got in the service, there was a station down in San Jose, California. I was stationed in Oakland, and this San Jose station had a guy named Cactus Jack on this. He's a disc jockey, and I got turned on by him, and he played that stuff, and he started off with Ride with Bob. I said, I want to do that. I want to do that. That's what I want to do, is play that kind of music. Because I was playing Eddie Arnold stuff, and you know, people like Hank Williams and all them guys, and that was the hot stuff in those days. But evidently it didn't fit me too well. But this Western Swing thing really hit me. I said, I think that's where I ought to go.
And you told me on the phone the other day a really neat story about our mutual friend Gene Gassaway, and how Gene had a little bit to do with your getting involved in singing Western Swing.
Well, he sure did, and I took on this job just through some friends on a TV show on a Sunday night. Now, I was working days there in Springfield, Missouri, and it made it kind of tough for me to drive down there, but it was on Sunday, and it come on at 9 o'clock.
And this was in Tulsa?
Mm-hmm, local, for a furniture store. It was a sale deal where they called in and bid on these items that he had to store and all that, and then all the next week it would be at that, they would get it to that price. And it was kind of a sales thing you had going there. And so anyway, we played music, and Gene Gassaway was the band leader. And he taught me a lot about the music that I love today. And I was trying to be a crooner. He said, let's just do, have you got something with a little beat to it? And so I said, okay, let's do let me ride in your little red wagon or something like that? He said, yeah, that's perfect. So we done that, and so he turned me on to some of this swing. He really did, Gene did, and I got hooked on that, and of course I played some dance jobs with him too. Then I said, this is really what I want to do. There wasn't no money in it, and by the way, after that TV show on 10 o'clock, got off at 10 o'clock on a Sunday night, I had to go back to Springfield and go to work the next morning. I was working at Pittsburgh Glass Company in Springfield, and I had to be to work at 8 o'clock the next morning. It wasn't really easy. It was pretty tough.
So did Bob hear you on this television show?
Yeah, Bob actually did. After Gene took a break, they brought John Lee Wills' band in there to back the singers on this show. Evidently, there must have been a little money in it, or John Lee wouldn't have done it. So John Lee and I got acquainted at that time. That's how we got acquainted. Of course, I had to come out and sing with his band, you see. So that suited me just fine, because I love John Lee's band, I always have. And so we got along real well, and so after a few little things, John Lee told Bob, said, Bob, this boy's been playing with us. He's a pretty good singer. I understand that Glenn Duncan's going to lead the band. That was Tommy Duncan's brother, Glenn. And he said, yeah, he is. And I said, well, why don't we, call him? And John Lee, he called Bob and said, you're off on Sunday, why don't you turn that TV show on? And sure enough, he watched it. It come on at 9 o'clock Sunday. And so the job was open for singer. And so Bob left word with me then, called me and said, you're going to be in Oklahoma. I understand you're going to be in Oklahoma City next Saturday. I said, yeah. He said, well, we're working Lindsay Land, and you're working down there in town on Louisiana Street. What's the name of that place? Anyway, he's playing a ballroom down there. I'll think of it in a minute. So I said, well, I'll go to early and I'll meet Bob over at Lindsay Land. There they was, except that old bus behind Lindsay Land, and Bob was the only one on the bus. And he said, son, I saw you on that TV thing. I think it's going to be okay. And Glenn's leaving the band. Are you ready to go with us? Just like that. And he said, by the way, if you go, you're going to have to get rid of them boots. I had some real fancy yellow and red and green boots all painted up. He said, we're going to have to get rid of them first thing. And be sure you got your sideburns cut off. I had them real long like Elvis. And that's what we had to deal with. So I said, well, Bob, if I take this job, this is what I've been waiting on for all my life. I'll have to give this guy 2 weeks notice for the job I'm on. And sure enough, I did. It was for more money, but we was gone a long time. And one time we was gone 66 days without coming home after this had transpired. And so he thought I was going to go get on the bus that night. I said, oh, Bob, I can't do that now. The fact of the matter is I ain't got no clothes to do this. I want this job because this is what I've been waiting on. Sure enough, it dumped right in my lap when I wasn't even looking.
And that was in March of
1958. 58, yeah.
Okay, all right.
So.
And by judging by your comments, it kind of gives people some insight into Bob Wills, not only his discipline for the band, but also his desire to have a clean look and everything. I mean, he ran everything, didn't he?
Yeah, I'd hate to think that he'd hired me on the strength of that TV show, but I guess the word got out that I was a pretty good old boy. So he didn't like no rough stuff. He didn't like no drunks, and he didn't like people that caroused around, and he wanted people that was neat and dressed nice and clean, and
You spoke earlier about that you were going down a path of crooner and like Eddie Arnold and stuff like that, and then you found Western swing. Can you explain to people who maybe don't know anything about Western swing? Can you describe it and what it really is? Is it people have called it country music? I don't agree with that, but how would you describe it for some people?
Well, the difference is some of the songs that they do in the country will work for Western swing. They don't like it that way, but that's the way it ended up. A lot of Hank Williams tunes works good with Western swing. And of course, Hank Thompson, we done a lot of Hank Thompson music. We naturally, we'd mock each other. In those days, we'd sing their song. But the ones that had the beat to them, the rhythm is the answer. That's it. The rhythm is different. And the country music, you strum and hum with a guitar, but you got that beat behind you with that Western swing that wakes them up. With that drum back there hitting there, and the bass band hitting that, and the guitar and so forth, they have a different feel, and it's a danceable music. Now, some of those country songs are not danceable, so they can't figure out why they can't dance to it. Well, that dance beat is not there, but Western swing has a beat. Got that thing where you want to dance.
Well, I'm going to say this, and then we'll let you go because you've got a show to do, as you always do. But I've known you for a long time, and I grew up listening to you. You are the voice of Western swing, my friend.
Well, now you said that. I didn't say that.
I did say that, and I'll stand by it.
Well, good. That's what we got on the label of our book here,
Yeah,
the voice
tell me about
of
that
Texas
book.
Playboy.
Hold that up.
Well, this book here, everybody's got something to sell, but I've got this book out here that this professor from Arlington, Texas, helped me put this thing together, and his name was John Perkins. Unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. But anyway, he passed away several years ago. But he talked me into doing a biography, and I said, well, I ain't got nothing important to say. He said, yes, you have to. You can tell a lot of stuff about what you did on the road, and about your family and all this stuff, and you're popular and this. Well, I didn't know how popular I was, but he seemed to think that was going to be important. So I said, well, let's go with it then. So that's how that happened.
Well, great. And we're going to put the website up where people can find that book if they would like to find out more about you and your life in music and your association with Bob Wills and Western Swing.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. It's
Appreciate
always
it.
good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you, Robert.